Good morning, everybody. You can come sit closer if you want. Come on down. Da-da-da, da-da-da. Come sit near us. We don't bite. Maybe. As people trickle in, I will say good morning, everybody. That's what I like to hear. My name is Alex Kolaitzi. I am the Director of Music here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Miami. Happy Mother's Day to all who are celebrating or being celebrated. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I know you're watching. Good morning to everybody joining us on the live stream today. Please feel free to grab a candle or a chalice that you can light with us when we light the chalice a little bit later in our service. Our first hymn this morning, everybody, is in the gray hymnal. It is number 402, From You I Receive. The words will be projected, as you can see, right over my shoulder. Joseph will play it through one time, and we will sing it through twice. Please feel free to stand in body or spirit and join in the singing.
Welcome to our multi-platform space here at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Miami, or as we call it, UU Miami. As a member of the Unitarian Universalist Association, the UUA, we bring a liberal religious voice to the great city of Miami. I am Reverend Tom Capo, the minister here. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I'm a white cisgender male. And I'm wearing a tie that was created by the Save the Children Foundation. And it's called Everybody Needs a Friend. And it's a children for Mother's Day. So, up on the chancel with me is Joseph Toledo. He's our very extremely accomplished pianist. And Alex, who you already met, is our music director. I'll get through this. UU Miami wants to acknowledge that we gather on the traditional lands of the Tequesta, Seminole, and Miccosukee people, and we honor with gratitude the land itself and the people who stewarded it for generations. And we say this every week, and I do ask you to think about what that means to you and how that might impact how you live in the world. UU Miami is a community of brave, curious, and compassionate thinkers and doers, and we invite you to learn more about us. You can go to our Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or webpage, or you can call me, email me, or talk to anybody who has like a lanyard on. We'll be glad to talk to you about this church. And if you've been here a few times and you want to be a member, please talk to one of us. We will help you do that. If you will join me now in our covenant, which will pop up here in just a second, please join me. We are an open, welcoming community who embodies respect, kindness, compassion, and curiosity. We foster a safe space that invites others to express their authentic, creative selves and unique ideas. We build relationships with one another by listening deeply with understanding and respect. We make a positive difference in our community using our combined time, talents, and treasure. And we are committed to embracing learning, growth, and change. It is our tradition to light a chalice at the beginning of every service. I'll read our chalice lighting as soon as I light the chalice. Our chalice lighting words this morning are written by a Lebanese-American writer and poet, Khalil Gibran, with a line from A. McLeish. We are called, you and I, sisters and brothers. We are called by our Mother Earth, by our Mother the Cosmos, by the Mother of all life. We are called to fulfill a destiny, to cast light into dark places, to bring warmth where there is cold. We are called to serve a dream, to discover the deeper meanings, to celebrate the greater love. In us there burns an ember. It glows red, deep inside, and never dies. It was kindled when the universe was born. The great cosmic fireball, casting forth its life, which permeates all that was and is. Blow now on that coal in your heart. In the name of human dignity, for the sake of justice, blow on that coal in your heart. In us there leaps a flame. It shines a bright orange deep inside and never dies. It came to life in blazing primordial fires of our infancy as people gathered to do together what they could not do alone. Blow now on that coal in your heart in the name of redeeming love, for the sake of truth. In us there burns a flame, white hot, deep inside, which never dies. We are called, my siblings, called by the Mother of life itself. Make us, O Mother Spirit, fuel for the sacred fire.
We can now have the youth go out to RE. What do you think, Jessica? Should we sing? Bridget, what do you want? You don't care? Let's sing, y'all. Let's do it. The words are projected above my shoulder. May your mind be open to new learning. Come on. May your lips bring truth into the world. May your heart know love and your hands do the work of justice as you go your way in peace. As you go your way in peace.
All right. Each week we take a little time during our service to share those joys and sorrows that are on our hearts. We do this so that we can share happiness with one another and also to be able to walk with one another in sorrow. As you come forward to share a joy or a sorrow, please say your name so we know who you are. Can we hold it for you? Oh, you can hold it.
Thank you. Good morning, I'm Bob Jacober, been a longtime member, over 50 years. I come here every Sunday for the warmth of UU Miami Sunday, our tribal gathering. So I would wish to share a couple of my thoughts with you. This is an Apache blessing. May the sun bring us new energy by day. May the moon softly restore us by night. May the rain wash away our worries. May the breeze blow new strength into our being, and may we walk gently through the world and know its beauty all the days of our life. I add namaste, my interpretation of namaste. May the part deep within me that is at peace with the universe meet the part deep within you that is at peace with the universe, and may we be as one. Namaste.
Space cats?
All right, now I have two joys. Space cats. I am in my Miss Frizzle era, and it's really exciting. I am Andy Arthur. My first joy was unexpected. I am in my Miss Frizzle era. Oh. Okay, I'm good. Do you need me? Oh, thank you. Sorry. I'm sorry I was not visible on the live stream. I did not hit my mark. Way distracted from what I was originally going to say. I apologize, folks. My first thing is just, I know Mother's Day can be really, really hard for a lot of people, and I just want to honor that and name that for people who have complicated relationships with their mothers, for people whose mothers have passed, for people whose mothers are here but not here anymore. One of my friends, closest friends, is dealing with her mom's Alzheimer's, and it's really, really difficult because she's here, but she's not here anymore. For people who want to have kids and can't, like, there's a lot of joy in this holiday, but there's a lot of sorrow that often goes unacknowledged, and I just want to name that and bring that into the space. So that is my sorrow. And then my joy, which is unrelated to that, or my space cats, is my theater company is doing a lot of cool things here in this space, and I'm just so thankful to be working with you all. We got dance parties and play readings coming up. Like, it's gonna be great. We have creative spaces where you can come and do creative things. Like, I am so excited that this space allows me to bring joy through arts and things, and I will be happy to talk to you about all the cool things coming up. I got postcards out there. But yeah, I'm just really thankful for this space giving me space to do things. So thank you.
There you go. Fabulous.
I'm CJ Weber. Good morning. Thanks for helping me hit the mark. Speaking to what Andy just said, a concern more so than anything else. But really, I'll start with a joy that this is Mom's 79th, well, it's her 79th year. It's probably her 55th Mother's Day for me and her together. And I'm just glad to have her around. I'm hoping it'll be well into her 80s, but nothing's guaranteed. And I just wanted to put that out there today. So thanks.
There you are. Can we hold for you?
Okay, let me see if I can get this back up and if I can see it. Good morning, I'm Bonnie Petticord. I have a favorite poem to read. It's the Song of the Sky Loom from the Tewa Indians. Oh, our mother the earth, oh, our father the sky, your children are we, and with tired backs we bring you the gifts that you love. Then weave for us a garment of brightness. May the warp be the white light of morning. May the weft be the red light of evening. May the fingers of the falling rain, may the border be the standing rainbow. Thus weave for us a garment of brightness, that we may walk fittingly where the birds sing, that we may walk fittingly where the grass is green. Oh, our mother the earth, oh, our father the sky.
Thank you, everyone, for sharing those joys and sorrows. And for those joys and sorrows that have been expressed, and for those still on our hearts but unexpressed, this community is blessed. I have a reading for you this morning. It's from Julia Ward Howe. She was an American author, poet, transcendentalist, and known for writing the Battle Hymn of the Republic. One thing you may not know is that she established the original 1870 pacifist Mother's Day. Here is what is called the Mother's Day Proclamation by Julia Ward Howe. Arise then, women of the day. Arise, all women who have hearts, whether your baptism be of water or of tears. Say firmly, we will not have questions answered by irrelevant agencies. Our husbands will not come to us reeking with carnage for caresses and applause. Our sons shall not be taken from us to unlearn all that we have been able to teach them of charity, of mercy, of patience. We, the women of one country, will be too tender of those of another country to allow our sons to be trained to injure theirs. From the voice of a devastated earth, a voice goes up with our own. It says, disarm, disarm. The sword of murder is not the balance of justice. Blood does not wipe our dishonor, nor violence indicate possession. As men have often forsaken the plow and the anvil at the summon of war, let women now leave all that may be left at home for a great and earnest day of council. Let us meet first as women to bewail and commemorate the dead. Then let us solemnly take counsel with one another as to the means whereby the great human family can live in peace, each bearing after his own time the sacred impress not of Caesar, but of God. In the name of womanhood and humanity, I earnestly ask that a General Congress of Women without limit of nationality may be appointed and held at some place deemed most convenient and the earliest period consistent with its objects to promote the alliance of the different nationalities, the amicable settlement of international questions, the great and general interest of peace. For those watching us online, I invite you to take out your smartphone and point it at the QR code. It will open up to the UU Miami donation page. Or if you're here, you could do that too. That's okay. Those of you present, there'll be someone to offer a plate that you may use for your donation. Or again, you could use a QR code. Today you have the opportunity not only to donate to this congregation, but to PACT, People Acting in Community Together. PACT is a Miami-based grassroots organizing nonprofit. They work on issues important to Miamians. PACT unites, organizes, and trains leaders from diverse congregations, schools, and community groups to build a powerful community voice. Individually and collectively, they are empowered to hold officials accountable, achieve systemic change, and promote fairness, justice, and democracy in Miami-Dade. This congregation is sacred to so many of us, a community of memory and of hope. Let there be an offering to sustain and strengthen this place and the work that we do in the world, for we are now the keepers of the dream. Samuel Taylor Coleridge wrote, "He prayeth best who loveth best all things, both great and small." And so perhaps prayer has little to do with words. Perhaps prayer has more to do with the spirit of love that comes from deep inside us. I invite you now into the spirit of prayer or meditation. You might open your hearts and let love flow in, either by listening to the words or by holding the silence between them. Spirit of life, when the worries of the day and the fears of the night crowd upon us, we look to our deepest understanding of life to sustain us. At the core of our being and our becoming, we find trust. We find a faith that can move the mountains of myth and metaphor. We know a faith that finds the glory of existence in a canyon, in a star, even when life seems out of kilter and ajar. We know peace because we trust. May we continue to deepen our trust and our understanding of ourselves and of all that is. May we let ourselves hope for a world of dignity and peace, for a life made more abundant for all people. Our hope is not the wishy-washy kind of hope that asks for miracles. Our hope grows out of striving to create a world of the change that we hope for. A world where people of dignity and peace can thrive, and where people are willing to share the joys and riches of life with others, because we are all children of the cosmos. May our lives declare and further our hopes and dreams. Love is essential to our being and our becoming. When we fail to act with love, something in our essence is diminished, and we know it. But when our acts spring from love, the love that lies deep within us, then we truly are a people of faith, of hope, and of love. Let us reflect upon the ways we live out these values in our individual and our collective lives. Amen.
Every morning, first thing, try to put some distance between me and who are you? time not long ago I thought all I had to know was what to do and what to say, how to get my way. Now there's nothing more I need than to feel her close to me. Nothing more I'll ever need than to feel her comfort me. Rock me in the arms of my divine mother, divine mother. Rock me now, rock me in the arms of my divine mother, divine mother. Rock me now, rock me now, rock me now.
To all biological, adopted, chosen, fostered, and those willing to serve as mothers to any of those people who are out there. As Andy reminded us earlier, it can be a complicated day for some. For some, we can feel happy with you, and for others, we may need to walk beside you as you work through your own feelings. My mom had to tolerate a few things from me as she raised me. That's her, a few years ago. For instance, when I put a black racer snake into a crab trap when she was walking out the back door of the house, and the snake came out of the crab trap because, you know, it was, the little openings were bigger than the snake was, so he could get out. And she did not, she was very scared at that moment. Shot right back into the house. She had to deal with me taking a truck tire trampoline and trying to push it into my tree house until it exploded, which, again, she did not take as well as could be expected. She had to take, you know, I generally did well in school, but, you know, I got D's and F's in handwriting. So nobody knew I was doing well in school for a while. But she always was concerned with my welfare, whatever I did. Even now, in her 80s and my 60s, she's my mother. And I treat her as such, and she treats me. And she always wonders how I'm doing and wants to take care of me. We all have both chosen and biological mothers. There is an interdependent web of mothers from which we are all born, sustained, supported, and loved. But I wondered, and I wonder if you did, where the idea for Mother's Day came from. This idea of taking a mother or your mother out to brunch or lunch and gifting your mother with something special to show her that she's appreciated for all she does and all she has done. So I thought I would share with you this morning a little of the history of Mother's Day and what we might take away from it. Did you know that the earliest forms of Mother's Day were celebrated in ancient Greece? The Greeks honored Rhea, the Titan. Pretty intense. She was the primordial goddess, the great mountain mother, the earth who gave birth to the creatures of her wild and fruitful surface. Rhea's name was Cretan. In the art of Crete, she was depicted as a huge, stately woman surrounded by worshipful animals, large and small, and subservient males. Her worshipers were fervent, celebrating with great musical processions of pipes and cymbals, leading to mystical orgies among her revelers. The blazing torch, the drum, and the double axe were her symbols, and she was invoked with the words, "Earth sends up fruits, and so praise Earth the Mother." Her festival was held each spring in honor of mothers. We don't think too much about that today. But there's another one, another Mother's Day we also don't think much about when we celebrate Mother's Day. The true first Mother's Day here in the United States. And it did not have subservient males or blazing torches or beating drums or swinging double axes. There was no mystical orgies. During the 19th century, two women were primarily responsible for the holiday celebrated today as Mother's Day in the United States. They were Anna Jarvis and Julia Ward Howe. Anna Jarvis was the first to consider a Mother's Day celebration. She was a young Appalachian homemaker who tried to provide sanitary conditions to those who were injured during the Civil War. She worked on both sides of the battlefield throughout the war by organizing the Mother's Workday Clubs. And after the war, she continued to unite Union and Confederate women by organizing Mother's Friendship Days. Julia Ward Howe. She was Unitarian, poet, and activist. And in the 1870s, during the Franco-Prussian War, now, during the Franco-Prussian War, many of our American youth went over there and fought and were killed. And she felt like it was cruel and unnecessary. It was a return to barbarism. And she felt things could have been settled without bloodshed. Influenced by, by Jarvis's work, Howe took up the cause of peace by uniting mothers against war. She began a one-woman peace crusade with an impassioned appeal to womanhood to rise up against war. With her stirring poem, you heard earlier, A Mother's Day Proclamation. She rallied the women of Boston, Massachusetts on June 2nd, 1870, and implored mothers all over the world to join together in declaring June 2nd as a Mother's Day of Peace. She translated her proclamation into several languages and distributed it around the world. In 1872, she went to London to promote an International Women's Peace Congress. For years, Howe presided over the annual Mother's Day Peace Rally and Festival on Boston's Common, but the local event never took off, and she failed to get formal recognition of a Mother's Day for Peace. Eventually, her idea was replaced by the Mother's Day holiday that we now celebrate. You know, I was thinking about Mother's Day as well, and And this goes back, as we would say, generations, hundreds of years. We might see the reverence for our Earth Mother, a desire for peace and love of life that is not restricted to the life of just our own children, but all the children and people of the planet, regardless of age, gender, sexuality, race, or creed. Whenever you think of the earth, whatever you think of the earth, whether you think of it in anthropomorphic terms or not, we are all trying to make sense of life and love, particularly in our own lives and our own communities. We were created out of cosmic forces that, as of yet, we don't fully fathom, and perhaps never will. Many of us realize we are part of a living Mother Earth. We use human concepts to struggle to understand how life was created. And for many of us, the concept of mother to describe our planet, a planet that seems to unconditionally love, sustain, and nurture us. A planet that supports our growth, that lets us know when we have gone too far, helps us clean up our messes, even covers up some of our biggest mistakes. And yet, how do we treat our Mother Earth? Sometimes we can be oppositional, wanting to do things our own way. Sometimes we make even bigger mistakes, crossing our fingers and hoping that our mother will help us and take care of it. Sometimes we treat our mother as if she had an inexhaustible supply of all that we need. But deep in our hearts, we know that our mother's resources are not inexhaustible. And now we're living in a time of growing ecological consequences. And I wonder what it will take for us to look to ourselves to meet our own needs, rather than depending on our Mother Earth. But of course, today is not just about Mother Earth. It's also about human mothers. And as we've heard earlier, that is challenging too. Some of us grow up with biological mothers. Some of us never know them. Some of us knew them and didn't like them very much. Some of us have yearned to be part of their lives. Some of us had untraditional mothers, people who loved and nurtured us, wiped away our tears, bandaged our skinned knees, cuddled us when we fell asleep. All in their own vague, somewhat untraditional way. Mother's Day can be particularly awkward to celebrate during these current days of increased recognition of gender fluidity. But in this tension, the opportunity to create new definitions of mothering can help release us from the shackles of binary thinking and the restrictive tropes of tradition. Suffice it to say, mothering is complicated, and our relationships with mothering are complex. If Mother's Day is bittersweet for you, please know I honor and hold space for you, for your own personal truth about what the meaning of today is. And if you had to go in search of your own mother, I honor and hold space for you as well. All of us deserve to be nurtured and loved for who we are, exactly as we are. That's my Mother's Day wish for all of us. And for those of you who identify as mothers, remember to be kind to yourselves. Forgive yourself when you fall short. Offer yourself unconditional love that you give so freely to your children. You too deserve to be nurtured and loved for who you are, exactly as you are. So what is it about this day that holds truth for you? Perhaps as Unitarian Universalists, we think about Julia Ward Howe and what she asked us to celebrate on Mother's Day. Not to question irrelevant agencies, not to have our children taken away and unlearn charity and mercy and patience. To help our country be tender and not use the sword. To find a great and general interest in peace. You know, peace is really important. It's one of those things I hold in my heart and wish for others and wish for this planet. And so when I think of Mother's Day, I always go back to this reading as for guidance from Lao Tzu. If there is to be peace in the world, there must be peace in the nations. If there is to be peace in the nations, there must be peace in the cities. If there is to be peace in the cities, there must be peace between neighbors. If there is to be peace between neighbors, there must be peace in the home. If there is to be peace in the home, there must be peace in our hearts. So my friends, on this Mother's Day, what will you carry with you in your hearts? Peace, love, an affirmation for life, creation. I hope as you leave today that you hold all three: love and peace and life in your hearts. Whether you celebrate it with a biological mother or a chosen mother, or you celebrate it alone, perhaps hold those with you throughout the day. See them and be them in the world. Amen.
Our closing hymn today is in the gray hymnal, number 134, Our World is One World. The words will be projected over my shoulder. We will sing all 4 verses. Thank you for standing in body or spirit. Please join in the singing.
that wash us round about, the clouds that cover us, the rains that fall. Our world is one world, the thoughts we think affects us all, the way we build our attitudes with love or hate, we make a bridge or wall. Our world is one world, its ways of wealth affect us all, the way we spend, the way we share, who are the rich or poor, who stand and fall. Our world is one world, just like a ship that bears us all, where fear and greed make many holes, but where our hearts can hear a different call.
Well, we end our service with gratitudes and announcements. Just as always, I think it's important for us to remember all those people who make this church function. Professional and volunteer staff, the board, committees, business manager, child care workers. There's so many people who are involved in this. Hyro, who does all these images on the screen. Kat, who helps us clean our place and will help Martha with the food today. And Derek, who might stick his hand out, who's running our sound areas and live stream. And of course, Joseph and Alex, who are amazing. And Jessica with our children. You know, it is important for us to remember all these people. They do a lot of work here, and sometimes we forget to say thanks. That's important. Well, there's going to be lunch in just a moment. My lovely wife is making lunch for today, so it's a $5 donation, but if it's your first time here, just eat. Don't worry about that. We want you to feel welcome. Now, we were going to have a program today on Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, but the Buddhist is sick today. I'm sorry to tell you that. But the good news in that is I'm going to ask him to come back and speak up here. So he'll have longer to spend with you, and we'll do that sometime this summer. So I'm going to ask him about that. Next week is our flower communion. So what do you need to do? Bring a flower, or more. You can bring a bunch of flowers for in case people that forget flowers. But we'll have our flower communion next week. And after the flower communion, well, let's see what comes up. Oh, there it is. We're going to say farewell to Martha and I next. Well, I'm not going to say farewell. I'll say farewell to you, and you'll say farewell to me. And we'll do a little celebrating. I have one other announcement. Thank you very much. In 3 weeks, we have our congregational meeting. When is our congregational meeting?
June 2nd.
What? June 2nd. Okay, 3 weeks. It's all right. Both are true. We're both and here. In order to improve the flow of the annual meeting, the UU Miami Board has developed a new policy regarding discussing and voting on the proposed budget. As we did last year, there's going to be 2 meetings, budget meetings. Please attend one or both. One's on Thursday, May 23rd at 7 on Zoom, and one will be in person on May 26th. Please, if you have questions or thoughts, and actually there's a copy of the budget on that little table back there if you want to look at it. During the sessions, the proposed budget will be discussed and suggestions will be collected and considered for the board. printouts of the draft budget. Yeah, I already said that. You can ask about the budget. Jenna is our treasurer. She'd be glad to talk with you about it. You can email her at jenna@uumiami.org. At the annual meeting, there will be a presentation of the budget and Q&As and a vote, but we're not going to, it's going to be an up or down vote on the budget. There'll be no amendments made to the budget at this meeting. If the proposed budget is not approved, the board will go back and make modifications and hold a special meeting as allowed by our bylaws, and we'll vote again. If special meeting is needed, the board will set up a date. Will require 2 weeks' notice to the congregation, just like the annual meeting. A special meeting requires a quorum of 30% of the members in good standing to attend in order to conduct business. Okay, so I'm going to have some closing words, and then there'll be lunch. Let us end the service with these thoughts and feelings, these ideas in our mind and heart, and may we carry them away with us. May our eyes be open to the gift of life, our ears attuned to the still small voice of life in each of us, and our hearts ever reaching to touch and be touched by the source of all life. May it be, so shall it be. I invite you to stand and greet one another, especially those you don't know. Let's build the community together. Joseph, a few minutes of... There we go.